Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me again. Thank you. It's a good thing that a lot of members of Congress are coming by. That means you've been effective in getting this on people's radars. And PFAS in particular has been an issue that really has been a high priority for our caucus. We just, as you know, passed a bill which Debbie Dingell led to have a comprehensive solution to PFAS. One of the provisions that I worked with Messmer on was requiring, we wanted a full ban of incineration. We got a compromise, at least it has to be treated as a hazardous waste, and there have to be safeguards for how we dispose of PFAS. But we're going to continue to push, and of course the challenge, like anything around here, is if the Senate will do something, and if we can get the Senate to pass it. But, you know, we're way behind other countries. Other countries have far more regulation when it comes to PFAS. When you look at Europe in terms of how they regulate it, our EPA has really dropped the ball on this. And we aren't living up to the standards that scientists tell us we need to. More broadly, we need far more investment in water infrastructure. I mean, there are still 1.6 million Americans without clean drinking water. And most scientists tell us that we need about $35 billion to improve our water infrastructure because 45 million Americans aren't getting water without certain contaminants. And we need that infrastructure investment. It also, by the way, would create thousands of new good jobs. And many of those jobs would be in the trades and construction. These would be blue-collar jobs. So it's a win-win. It improves our water. It makes it easier to live in communities and safer to live in communities, and it creates jobs. And that's something that I wish were more bipartisan. Brenda Lawrence and I have the bill on the Water Act. But let me end with this, and I can't resist being a little bit partisan. The fact that the President of the United States would recognize Rush Limbaugh for the Presidential Medal of Freedom, who I can't think, I mean, our founders would be rolling over in their graves if to have someone of that caliber be recognized. And at the same time, this president has ended giving out the Presidential Medal for Science. I mean, can't they find like the Rush Limbaugh equivalent of scientists? I mean, they've just said no to science. So we should understand what moment we're living in, because this is not a moment of, oh, there's some Republicans, they're thoughtful, Democrats, they're thoughtful. That's the case if you're dealing with Mitt Romney, who I disagree with, but, you know, very thoughtful person who I think is wrong on a lot of issues. This is a case of a willful blindness to the Enlightenment values that founded America. It's a willful blindness to the philosophical traditions that founded this country. Our founders were intellects. They believed in reason. They didn't believe in passion and emotional manipulation. They believed in facts, and many of them were scientists. So to have people of your background with science and technology come to the Capitol to remind people of what should matter, what governance should look like, I think is a real service at our time. So thank you for what you're doing.